Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're zeroing in on Russia's foreign policy, specifically how it affects its neighbors.
Exactly. We've got some sources here looking at, how things have evolved, the motivations, the tools they
And
use.
the impact, right, the regional dynamics. So our mission today, essentially, is to unpack this complex geopolitical picture for you.
That's the plan. Trace the changes, understand the why, look at the responses, which are really varied, and grasp the implications.
Okay, let's kick things off with the evolution then. After the Cold War, the world shifted away from that clear bipolar setup. How did Russia adapt its approach?
Well, it's interesting. Right after the Soviet Union collapsed, there was this, maybe a hope, in some circles anyway, that Russia might integrate more with the West.
Right, that integration idea.
Yeah, but it didn't quite happen like that.
Yeah.
Over time, we've seen this shift towards a more assertive stance, really focused on promoting a multipolar world.
Meaning a world with several big power players, not just one or two dominant ones.
Precisely.
Yeah.
So looking at Eastern Europe specifically,
Right.
what's driving Russia's policy there? Seems complex.
It is. Connecting it to that bigger picture, a few things stand out. History, culture, those ties run deep, obviously. But security concerns are huge. You hear a lot about NATO's eastward expansion and how that's perceived in Russia.
As a threat, basically.
Right. And then there's this consistent desire to maintain influence in its neighborhood. It's near abroad, as they often call it.
A sphere of influence, you mean?
Kind of, yeah. Now, how are the neighbors reacting? It can't be monolithic, surely.
Oh, absolutely not.
Yeah.
And that really highlights how diverse the region is. Some countries have leaned heavily towards the West.
Seeking NATO membership, for example.
Exactly, as a security measure. But others try to walk a finer line, trying
Right.
to stay more neutral, carefully balancing relationships.
It's a tough spot for many of them. What about historical grievances? We hear that term used. How much does the past really shape today's actions?
History is definitely woven into the fabric of it all.
Right.
These historical narratives, they shape national identity, right? They frame how threats and opportunities are seen.
So they can be powerful tools.
Very powerful, yeah, in shaping policy and also public opinion about neighbors.
Okay, a clear turning point seems to be the annexation of Crimea. How fundamentally did that change things?
Oh, Crimea was massive. A pivotal moment, no doubt. It was a direct challenge to, well, international norms about borders and sovereignty.
And the impact on Ukraine was obviously immense.
Profound. And it sent ripples across the entire region, completely reshaping the security landscape.
Let's talk about the tools Russia uses. Energy is a big one, right?
Yeah.
How much leverage does that give them, particularly with Europe?
Energy is crucial, a key instrument. Many European countries have been quite dependent on Russian energy.
Which gives Russia leverage.
Significant economic and, frankly, political leverage at times. And they haven't been shy about using it strategically.
Moving to more modern tools, cyber warfare, where does that fit in?
It's become a really important part of the modern statecraft toolkit, hasn't it?
In what way?
Well, it allows for things like disinformation, disrupting critical systems, exerting influence in ways that are, often hard to pin down directly. Deniable sometimes.
That's a whole different battlefield. Now, Russia's also doing this balancing act, isn't it? Between China on one side and the West on the other. How does that work?
It's a complex triangle, constantly shifting. We've definitely seen Russia and China getting closer, especially as tensions with the West have risen.
And that changes the global power dynamic.
It has huge implications for the global balance, yeah.
We also need to touch on military interventions. What are the consequences when Russia takes military action abroad?
The consequences are often severe and long-lasting. You see regional instability, humanitarian issues.
And it raises big questions about international rules like sovereignty and non-interference.
Exactly. Which brings us to a final, maybe difficult question. Given all this, can diplomacy alone really manage Russia's regional ambitions?
Is it enough?
That's the core issue, isn't it? It points to the potential limitations of diplomacy. Dialogue is essential, of course, absolutely vital.
Right.
But its effectiveness hinges on a lot of things. Genuine willingness from all sides to engage, the leverage available. It's not simple.
So, wrapping this up then, Russia's foreign policy seems driven by this real mix of history, security worries, geopolitical goals.
Using a whole range of tools, from energy pipelines to cyber attacks.
And the impact on its neighbors is huge, forcing varied reactions and really reshaping regional security.
Precisely. It makes you think, doesn't it? When you look at all these interconnected pieces, you have to ask, what are the long-term consequences for the wider international order? And, what role can different countries or groups actually play in shaping what happens next?
Definitely something for you, the listener, to consider. That's all the time we have for this deep dive.